just shaking out any kind of tension and a little bit of that bouncing on your frame to loosen up in the soft tissues. So last week we talked a little bit about a means of relaxing the shoulders, because it seems like when we lift our shoulders, of course, then our delts and our shoulders start to get tense. So let's make a few connections here. When we raise the arm, that there is a connection between the dantian and the arms, as if the dantian is somehow supporting the arms. And if you feel that connection, then your lower half and your upper body are connected and joined at that place, integrated. Now just feel the difference. Go ahead and just lift your arms by virtue of arms. Just lifting up, yeah. And you can feel a little more tension in your delts. Instead, just imagine this connection coming up through the feet. And once you get to the dantian, it's like there's a push arm that lifts the arms for you. So just feel that. It's sort of a wave coming up. And then once it gets to the dantian, there's some connector there that lifts your arms for you. Integrating the upper and the lower parts of your body. And then we'll do this one more time, and what I would like for you to feel now is your scapula. And imagine that the scapula is the driver. It's what's lifting up your arms. And then everything in your arm is very loose and soft. So just imagine that you're delivering or issuing or lifting from the scapula. Yeah, that was nice, Jerry. I could see that. That was beautiful. Yeah. Back. And I'm exaggerating it. Some of the Kua is forward and the shoulders are behind the hips. I'm really exaggerating it. Most of you are not like that far. And also what I sense is that some of you are trying to tuck the tailbone, and that's creating a backward momentum too. So you find your place of comfort. Make sure the Kua is down and back. And then if you feel like a lot of pressure on your heels, like this, you take the whole line. And that's what I'm asking some of you to do, is maybe everything is dialed in, but you're back here. I hope you can see that. I'm trying to make it like maybe you're level, but you're back here, and that's creating tension in the quads and in your body. So just, you take the whole line, bring it forward until you find that bubble. And for me, it's right behind the balls of my feet. Not on the balls, but right behind the balls of my feet. So you bring the whole line forward. So Lynn, Joe, John, the posture looks nice, but it's too far back. It's like putting a bubble in the back, or putting all the load in the back of a pickup truck. Bring it forward. Shift that whole axis, that whole center of gravity right through the comfortable place. Also, sometimes when we spend so much time here, too much back, when we actually fix it, we may feel like we're nose heavy, like we're tipping forward. Just kind of play with it for a while, because you've changed that homeostatic point. You may feel too far forward, but eventually it will start to recalibrate, and it'll feel right. And you'll check your breath. Your breath will tell you. Okay, Lynn, feel like this little bone out here, outside of your ankle and your hip and your shoulder are all connected, and that whole unit is sliding forward to here. And then just release the sacrum. Don't tuck the tailbone, just release the sacrum. Some of you are reaching too far out, and then some of you are too close. So you just find this this space where it almost feels like your arms are being supported. It feels like my arms are being supported by my feet. That's better. Yeah, that's the ultimate goal of this whole thing, this whole endeavor. I mean, I have been doing a lot of study and looking at different, even different martial arts, and really studying. And you know what? They all come back to two things. All the worthy ones, actually all of them, come back to two things: alignment and release of tension. I mean, that's it. That's what this whole thing's about. Release of that tension and alignment. And they work in opposite of each other. The more you release, the more you can align, and the better aligned you are. So it's a looseness. It's like very soft and loose, but it's aligned. That's the cotton. The cotton is the looseness. Because I thought structure was structure like stiffness or something that I could feel. But what I'm discovering is it's a looseness and it's alignment. So it's the looseness on the alignment. So it's the cotton, the needle wrapped in the cotton, and the needle is that alignment. And for whatever reason, years and years of whatever, we tend for the quad to come forward or the head to come forward. So these are things that we just have to start to realize. But it's a soft, loose feeling. And then the movement comes out of the spine in the scapula. And the rest is just a wave from it. Yeah. And you know what? One way I'm finding that I can release is to exaggerate the thing I want to let go of. In other words, if my thing is my shoulders kind of hunch and round. It's too much of the hollowing of the chest. That's what mine is. That's what I have to get over. So what I'll do is I'll do it and then release it. So whatever it is that whatever I told you, do it and then go the opposite direction in almost an exaggerated way. And then feel it. So if you're Jerry, really up. If your shoulders come up, release them. Mary, bring your elbows up, release them. So just every time we recalibrate, that's a place to try to get back to. And also, as you're moving, just try to make some adjustments while you're doing it. And don't be afraid to over-exaggerate it. So if your quad is forward in your back, I'm exaggerating, while you're doing the movement, stick your butt way out, lean forward and do the movement, and then find the comfortable place. Okay? All right. Great. So go ahead and release. Find that axis. It's such a comfortable place when we find it. Let everything just sort of hang on that axis. And then become aware of your scapula and your feet. And begin turning the floor. And imagine that the power is coming out of the scapula, not out of the arms. The arms are just along for the ride. And they're along for the ride and moving as a result of the momentum that you've created, not from moving the arms. Imagine them just tendrils hanging out of the scapula. Yeah, there you go. So, try not to hold the arms. You actually feel the weight of them all the way down to the hands. There you go. That's nice. Good, Lynn. Don't look down, anybody. That feels really nice, doesn't it? And just for grins, everybody do this. Float your shoulders up really tight, up to the sky, and then release them as you keep going. Yeah. And then just slow the oscillation down and come back to the center. And then just check in with your posture, because any movement we layer on top of our posture, we tend to go back to our little idiosyncrasies, I'll call them. All right, now floating up, as water rising, floating up from the feet, all the way up to the dantian. And remember that you feel it coming out of the scapula, floating, connecting to the dantian. We're going to do our push water, starting in your standing meditation posture that we just worked on. Much better. And then we just start to swirl and impose movement on top of it. Everything else is the same. The center axis, the position of the Kua, the reach, the connection between the hands, and the softness of the body, outer body soft. That's it. Yeah, Jerry, bring your hands closer together. Connect the two hands. There you go. Imagine the power coming out of the scapula, and your arms are just like two pipes or tubes that the power is flowing through. Beautiful. Now we're going to go right into brush knee, and the release here. Just imagine your arm very heavy and that feeling of it hanging from the scapula. Whoosh. It's a feeling of weight and release, whoosh, all the way down under your feet. Weight, release, hydraulically fill. The weight, release, hydraulically fill. Come back to your center and just play with your posture. Where's your Kua? What relationship is your shoulder to hip? Laterally, I mean. And how far back or forward? Find that center place. Now, I'm going to skip the revolving door one. So let's do our drinking water. So the internal axis is your structure. How refined is that? And then all the soft tissues, just imagine them soft and gushy and disengaged, not firing, not tensing. And the more we go down for our drinking water, the more the outer soft tissues are off, are soft, expanding, receiving. And then your bowl in the beautiful spring water. And now just pour the tailbone down into the earth. and down into your feet, the body weight. Feel that central axis, find your balance on that bubble. Elbows down, shoulders relaxed, scapulas are heavy. Swallow. And another one. Dip into the bowl, into the water, and now you feel the weight of the body pouring down, down, down into the earth. And then connect the dantian to the arm. And drop those elbows. Swallow. So let's do one more. And just imagine the yin, the yang. So let's imagine our yin is soft, receiving. So as we're going down, as the body becomes very yin, a drawing into the center and yet a soft expansion. And once you dip that bowl into the water, now your body, you can feel the weight of your body, the heaviness as you come up, or yang. Work with that heaviness, pour it under your feet. And once you're upright, release the elbows. Swallow. And if you're not comfortable, then adjust your posture a little bit. Play with it as you deliver this energy throughout your body. Floating up. Open up the space between your hands. Be as expansive as you would like. And then as you release, let those scapula be heavy. And feel this resistance between your hands. And let's open our hands a little bit. And then in the space, our mind is in the space. It's like we want ourselves to fill that space. As wide and as expansive as you'd like to be, as you can imagine. Then release into the scapula and feel the molecules of density between your hands as you bring them together. And one more. Like breathing into the space and expanding it. A metaphorical breath. And then release. And now let's just release here and recalibrate your posture a little bit. Very nice. Open up. Now I would like for you to, as you open, to stretch those hands just a little bit and imagine middle finger connecting to middle finger, sending energy. Rotate. Then as the back hand releases, the front elbow releases, scoop under the earth and toss the ball. Follow through. Back hand releases, elbow releases. Rotate. So this one, where we can be I don't want to say reaching, but we can be a little more expansive out into the space around you, while at the same time keeping the connection between your hands. It's like you're playing with this big, huge, magical ball. And now let's place our awareness in the scapula so that your arms are as soft and as loose as possible. If somebody was touching me, I would be connecting through my scapula to that touch. So you can imagine somebody has your wrist here, and you just let go, release into it, and just send the power through the scapula to their touch. That changes everything. Huh. That's it. Nice, Jerry. They've got your wrists. You just let them have it. Release. And then it's from that scapula out that you feed into their touch. You disappear from them. You rest on them. And join your nice structure with the structure of their force. And then that makes your body extremely comfortable. Yeah, one more. That's beautiful, y'all. Good, then we'll come back to the center. And just take a moment to recalibrate, check what's happening at your quad, your shoulder hip alignment, tension. Yeah. Now we'll hold this ball, like this ball, like this ball. And you're touching the outside skin of it, and you're rolling it through the bottom of the feet like gears. Yes, that's nice. And then just feel kind of lazy and sloppy here. In other words, it's like, my elbow's down. My elbow's not up. It's down. So as you roll, that's right. It's just like you're resting your arm on it. Ah, that's nice. It's the best all of you have done that. It's not an intention. It's not like I'm going like this. It's just I'm resting my arm on it. The intention is to rest on it. It's like, I can rest here for a second. Great. Let's do our ankle rolls, then we'll take a little foot break. Water break. So let's see how Gumby-like can you be when you do your ankle rolls. Like imagine that you could just be so loose. Don't worry about structure right now. We're just being playful. We're exploring how much of a loose spiral can you make all the way from the feet up, both directions. Then your stretch, if you'd like. And slowly coming up. Everything's nice and loose, but you've got that internal alignment. Good. All right, let's take a short break.